What's up, everybody? This is SANDCAST Beach Volleyball with Bourne and Travis Mewhirter, presented as always by our guys at volleyballmag.com. We have no video today. Typically, we will have our videos on P1440, but because this is kind of a special episode, went down to Florida with Trevor Crabb, his partner, and his coach Jose Loyola to train with Phil Dalhausser and Nick Lucena, and they did a kind of a week-long training camp. Also had Sarah Hughes and Summer Ross there with them, so a really good trip for them. But we couldn't get video with it, so you're just going to have to bear with us for the audio just for today. But fun episode here today. Sits down and chats with the Florida crew, including their coach Jason Lochhead, who is one of the greatest people in beach volleyball, a phenomenal coach. And if you haven't watched him play, he's super fun. He played with Phil in Hermosa Beach last year because Nick was out, and he still got it. He's still a baller. So enjoy this episode with Tri and the Florida crew.
All righty, ladies and gentlemen, this is our first on-the-road SANDCAST. We are here in Florida, in the town of Coconut Creek, I believe.
Yeah.
And we are at the DS Sportsplex, right? It is the most ridiculous place for any kid to grow up, or any athlete. It's like a heaven for an athlete. You can play basketball, volleyball, golf, indoor volleyball, beach volleyball, pool, which Jason Lochhead here beat Trevor in last night for a nice fresh juice. That's actually the second juice that Trevor owed Jason, because Trevor lost in basketball as well, and golf. But the reason we're here with Jason Lochhead and also Phil Dalhausser's on the mic with us, the reason we're here with them is because we are doing like a little Florida training camp. It's pretty cold and rainy out in Cali, so we're out here meeting up with these boys. They're getting some good reps with us. We're getting some good reps with them. And just a old school, kind of like a little summer camp, a little volley summer camp. We're sleeping upstairs above the gym on air mattresses and getting our reps in. Jason, welcome to the show. Phil, you already been here.
Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, you're welcome. We're up here in our loft that we've all been sharing for the week. Well, you guys don't get to travel, play against many teams now that you guys live in Florida full time. So was this helpful for you guys, for us to come out here?
Definitely. I mean, competing against teams is always a huge thing, and yeah, it does make it tough for us not getting that, but luckily these guys have a ton of experience,
right?
And they've already done so many years of it, so we can kind of work more on that quality skill stuff, and then like bring in you guys, and we've got Ricardo there, and
right.
We've got Ben and Grant coming out before Qatar, so we've got slowly building those team games in.
Right, and that's obviously first event for you guys, first event for us. We're going to Qatar, the first FIVB. And it's safe to say that you guys are going all out, all in for the next 2 years, Olympics, right?
Yeah.
It's going to be quite a battle out there this time around. I think there's maybe a little more deep. What do you think, Phil? Do you think the U.S. is a little more deep on the men's side going into this Olympics, or not as deep?
2016?
Yeah, the last quad. We qualified 3 teams last time. Do we have a chance to qualify 4?
I think 4 might be tough, because that 4th team has to come to the qualifier, and then.
Oh, good point.
And they're playing probably country quota too. So, but I think 3 teams is definitely doable.
Right.
But like last time, you and Hyden won a tournament. Jake and Casey won a couple, and Nick and I won a few. So, we had strong showing.
Yeah.
2016.
Yeah, true. It's interesting to look ahead after being through a quad. Now I'm like trying to figure out what I've learned and what I can bring into this next quad. I haven't really figured it out yet, but like that's what's always coming through my head is like, God, that last quad was pretty stressful at times.
Yeah.
And I think every time you go through it, I'm sure you've already been through it like 4 times, you kind of learn the next, or a new thing that you can take from the last experience and apply it to this one.
Yeah, Ginger's been, Mr. Jason Lochhead.
Yeah. Jason Lochhead, a.k.a. the Ginger Ninja.
Yeah, he's been through a couple of quads, huh?
Yeah. How many quads have you been through now?
2.5, I'd say. The first one didn't really count, I guess, because we came in. That was my first kind of year out on tour, and it was like the quad was already going. So
what year was that?
That was for the 2004 Olympics.
2004.
Yeah,
so right after the Olympics.
So we were like kind of like no, we started before the 2004 Olympics.
Oh, wow.
So 2003,
Dang.
we played some events, but we were coming in so late. It was like, and it was my first year ever playing on World Tour. It was like no chance, but
it was a baby Ginger.
Yeah, baby Ginger out there.
Wait, so let's take it back, because I got to play in New Zealand for a little bit, experience that kind of beach volleyball culture. But were you guys the first team? You and Kirk Pittman?
Yeah.
Right? Were you guys the first New Zealand team to make the World Tour and be a...
No. There was actually the Hamilton brothers actually played in the 1996 Olympics.
Oh, wow, okay.
So they were out on the World Tour. They were probably the first New Zealand team that did well out there. And then Craig Susu went out there.
Oh, I met him, yeah.
Yeah, and they actually did really good as well. They got, I think it was the 2000 Olympics, because the system back there was like to make the main draw, it was 365-day points to get into the main draw. So it wasn't like you had 4 good events and suddenly you were in the main draw. You had to do like a whole year of qualifying, doing really good. So they spent a whole year getting into the main draw, and then they finally like cracked into the main draw, which pretty much locks you in for a year because it's 365-day points.
So that's how surfing is.
Yeah.
It's
and
like
then,
you're either on the qualifying tour or you're on the main tour.
Yeah.
And then at the end of the year, the bottom of the main tour drops off to the qualifying, and the top of the qualifying tour gets to come up.
Yeah. And then they changed it. So once they made the main draw, they changed the system. They had a couple bagged events, dropped back down the qualifier. But they, I think they had a bunch of top 10s. I don't know if they cracked the top 5 though. But yeah, he was he was a really good player. And he was one of the people I looked up to a lot when I was growing up. I was pretty lucky to have him there.
Yeah, definitely. That's pretty rich history for such a small place.
Yeah.
Small beach volleyball community.
And he was your guys' coach, right?
Yeah. He actually played with Kirk before Kirk played with me, and then he ended up coaching us, which we were pretty lucky.
Oh, nice.
He actually went on and coached the Germans, Ludwig, and who should we play
I'm not
with?
going to remember the name.
Yeah, Sarah. Yeah. And they did pretty good. They made Olympics and did pretty well, so yeah, he knows his stuff.
And then you were a really good World Tour player for 10 years then you were on the tour?
Yeah, I played for 9 years on the tour.
Same partner?
Same partner the whole time, yeah.
Damn, you get sick of him?
I mean, we definitely had our moments, but I mean, he's a pretty good guy.
Yeah,
we had a lot of fun.
For sure. And then you guys became pretty close with a lot of the Americans, right? I'm hearing stories of how you guys all became close.
Yeah.
How did you meet Phil and Nick?
First time I met him would have been Klagenfurt, eh? When we played you on the qualifier. Would that be the first time I met you?
No, I think maybe World Champs that year. Berlin, I played with Todd, yeah.
Yeah. You played with Todd that year, and then you played with Nick later on?
Yeah, Sean Scott broke his finger, so he couldn't play World Champs, so Todd picked me up last second.
Yeah.
And I was like,
That was
I'm ready to go.
You should have played through that one, Sean Scott.
Yeah.
The rest is history.
But I think I met you there.
Yeah.
And then, well, unfortunately, we played you guys the game to get in the qualifier in Klagenfurt.
Yeah.
And
it was
we
close.
got a win, yeah.
It was close.
Back when Nick and Phil were in qualifiers.
Yeah. That was brutal.
Dream drop.
Yeah, it was a good battle.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, we would always come out, and probably 2 months before the season started, we'd train with a whole lot of teams in America.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how we kind of...
And did you ever, before when you were playing, did you think you wanted to get into coaching?
Nah.
Not really.
I mean, I was always just focused on the playing side and
Right.
trying to be as good as I could.
Yeah.
My mum, though, before I even went on the tour, she always said I'd be a good coach. But I was like, nah, I'm playing.
She planted the seed.
Yeah. But I always told her, no, I'm a player. I'm playing. I'm a coach. But yeah, I kind of fell into it afterwards.
Yeah, and then so what was you played until 2015?
2012 was our last year, so we had that last run for 2005 Olympics.
I get to play against you. Well, how'd that 2012 go, first of all?
Yeah, it was brutal. Also, we had 2 solid runs at Olympics. 2008, it was the old format where it was kind of like top 24 in the world got to go. Then obviously you had the home nation got a spot, and then a wild card. Right. Oh, not a wild card, but South Africa or Africa got a spot because every continent needed one. So really top 22. And I think we finished like 27th. So we were pretty close. And then they changed the format for 2012 where it was the top 16 got to go. And then you had your continental qualifying process, and I think we finished like 18th. So on the old format we would have been in. Damn. We just missed out again.
I'll stop feeling bad for myself then.
And then we went to, and it was a tough format because you like bust your ass for 2 years.
Yeah.
And then you don't make it, and they're like, okay, now you have to fly from Europe all the way to Asia and play against these guys and you have to win the tournament to get the spot.
Right.
And we went there and we choked a little bit and blew the first game against Kazakhstan and then we're done and we're like, what the hell just happened?
Yeah. Dang.
Oh, so that was the first round versus Kazakhstan?
Yeah. Which was pretty
They're
crazy.
exceedingly good.
They were a good team on the world tour at that stage too, which was pretty crazy. So we had us, Australia, Kazakhstan, and I think Indonesia all on the same side of the bracket, which were probably all the really strong. And then China was on the other side, which was hosting the event. So I don't want to say anything, but I felt like the draw was a little rigged.
Did Japan win?
Yeah, Japan ended up winning.
Huh.
Yeah,
because we had them in our pool.
Yeah.
Not Watanabe, Asahi and
Shiratori. Yeah.
Asahi.
Yeah.
It's an easy one to remember.
Yeah.
And then you transitioned you were playing AVP after that, because when I first came out, you were playing AVP. I got to play against you a bunch.
Yeah.
Was that a transition for you, or was that just like, I'm just going to go play AVP?
That was more, I was like in America, I applied for my green card, not even really thinking about playing, more just to work, because I was kind of like thinking about living there. And it just worked out. I kind of was coaching to bring a little bit of money. Right. Russ Machuca was like, hey, do you want to play? He actually got me to play at NBL. And then we finished second in that. And then he was like, let's play some AVP. So I was like, okay, I'm not doing too much.
Yeah, why not?
Kind of got into it.
Sweet. So that was kind of, you transitioning to the US kind of, and your mom sparked that little bit of interest.
A little bit of thought, yeah.
A little thought. And then, your latest partner on the AVP tour is this guy right here, right?
Yeah.
Phil Dalhausser.
It's true.
You guys played in Hermosa together.
He helped me get my best finish on the AVP.
Really? What was that?
You're welcome.
Fifth?
Yeah, fifth, yeah.
Fifth, okay. There you go.
A few sevenths before that, he got me over that little hurdle.
You watched him play enough, he owed you one.
Yeah.
And then you transitioned to coaching, and who was your first team? Was it the Canadian boys?
No, it was Vanuatu.
Oh, Vanuatu, yeah.
Vanuatu women.
That's right. That was impressive, by the way, because when they first came out, I was kind of like, wow, like they didn't seem very great, right? And then within a year or two, you had them like placing top 5 on the world tour, right?
Yeah, I think their best was fourth.
Fourth, yeah.
Yeah, which was pretty awesome.
That was pretty impressive. Yeah. That's like a nice little thing on your resume there.
That was another brutal one though, because they worked their asses off, and we got so close. We finished 17th, top 16, get to go Olympics. And they got that close, and it came down to the last few events. Like we just needed a couple of places better. Yeah, which is tough. And then same thing happened. They busted their ass playing all these tournaments, and then suddenly we had to fly all the way to Australia. Right. And try and compete in the same continental thing, and they made it to the final, but ended up losing to Australia in the final. It was just tough. But then you started coaching Ben Saxton and Cam Schalk. Yeah. Or were you coaching them at the same time? Same time. So I was coaching Vanuatu, and we were in Europe, and you hedged your bet. And Germany actually asked me, the men, they were like, oh, can you coach us for one tournament? And I was like, okay. And so I helped them out in Gstaad, which they got a 9th in, which was pretty cool. And then Ben and Cam saw that, and they were like, you're coaching guys as well? I was like, maybe.
I guess.
So they were like, can we try you out for the next one? And then we tried it out and just kind of took off from there.
And that was probably a bit easier because they were going to be located in California, as most Canadians are.
Yeah.
And then, so then you ended up going to the Olympics with that team, the Canadian men. You finally made the Olympics. Yeah. Congrats on that. Yeah. And how was that whole experience? Finally, you've been trying for so many years, and going as a coach is fully legit. You got to walk opening ceremonies and all that. How was that experience?
Yeah, under the Canadian flag.
Under the Canadian flag.
Oh yeah, was that a little weird? You're like near your American friends. You're from New Zealand, but with Canada.
I think the weirdest thing was we're going to the opening ceremony, and we're in these vans loaded up with all the Canadians, and everyone on the bus starts singing the national anthem. And I don't know the Canadian national anthem. I felt so bad.
Isn't it like "Oh Christmas Tree"?
No.
That's what it sounds like, right?
Yeah.
You're just humming along.
Yeah, I just melded it because people were videoing and stuff. I was like, damn, someone's going to video me and I'm just going to be there like, But it was an awesome experience.
That's awesome.
Walking up. And those guys are two awesome guys. And it was a lot of fun going through that process with them now.
Definitely. Did you get to see the American boys at all during the event? Maybe the Players Village or...
Yeah, we saw them around.
Just at the site, really.
Yeah, just at the site. Yeah. It was kind of crazy because the Athletes Village was like an hour drive away.
Oh, really?
And, and these guys got hotels nearby.
Yeah,
smart.
We got a little lucky.
We're now going to take a quick second for a word from our sponsors. And before we do, we just wanted to thank you guys, as always, for listening. You are what keeps the show going on. Now, if you want to do us a huge favor and drop us a review on iTunes or Podbean, we would greatly appreciate it. If not, support our sponsors. They're the ones who also keep the show going, so any support in any way we appreciate. So here's a word from our sponsors on SANDCAST. This show has been brought to you by Firefly Recovery. Now, I know that I have done a terrible job with my recovery all season long, which is why I'm a huge fan of Firefly. I always thought recovery, you had to go get a massage, it had to be an hour-long thing, but it doesn't. With Firefly, all you have to do is just strap this thing on to your knee, which is what's been bugging me, and you can strap it on at work, so you can do your recovery while you're getting paid and doing your work. You can strap it on during an airplane, which is exactly what I did on my way to Maryland for New Year's and Christmas. You can bring it on the way back from the plane. You can do it in the car ride. You can recover on the go, doing whatever you want, which is exactly why I love Firefly. It does everything that you would need it to do. It moves the blood flow down there, and you're naturally recovering. You don't need these enormous Normatec boots and be grounded. You can do it on the move, on the go. It's a huge help for me with how much you have to lift and play beach volleyball. I highly recommend Firefly Recovery, so check them out. If you are an athlete, if you are just a weekend warrior looking to get that soreness out of your muscles, Firefly is the way to go. So hit them up at fireflyrecovery.com. Give them a try. I highly recommend it. This podcast is also brought to you by Wilson Volleyball. I know if you've been following beach volleyball players on Instagram lately, there's a lot of complaints about how difficult it is to play with the dreaded Mikasa, which is used on the international tours. But if you're not playing internationally, and if you're not playing P1440, whose season won't be rolling around till late fall anyway, we are back to using the Wilson people, so hallelujah and celebrating that. So if you need a refill on Wilson balls, they are the best balls in the market, and best thing yet, we give you a 20% discount here at SANDCAST if you use the discount code WilsonSAN. By far the best ball. The college players use it. The AVP uses it. Almost every grassroots tour uses it. The CBVA rocks it. There's a reason that everyone uses Wilson. It's the best ball in the market. Highly recommend you pick up a bag of Wilsons today, especially if you want to use our Wilson code, WilsonSand. So go ahead and get yourself a bag of volleyballs today or any other equipment you might need. This next segment is brought to you by Pacific Coast Wealth Management. We are all excited for the race to Tokyo, the 2020 Olympic Games, and therefore I wanted to give you guys an update brought to you by our friends at Pacific Coast Wealth Management over who the leaders are both in the world and in the country. Number one in the race to Tokyo is Vyacheslav Krasilnikov and Oleg Stoyanovsky of Russia, followed by two more Russian teams Ilya Lishukov and Konstantin Semenov, and Taras Miskiv and Valery Samode. I butchered those names for sure, but those are your top 3 international teams in the race for Tokyo. Number 1 from the U.S. is the split blocking extraordinaires Bourne and Trevor Crabb with 1,160 points. They are currently ranked number 9 in the 2019 standings. The second team from the U.S. currently is Miles Evans and Billy Kolinsky with 1,040 points. And ranked number 3 in the U.S. in the 2019 season is Casey Patterson and Stafford Slick, who are no longer playing together. So expect some changes as the season is coming up. And for now, just enjoy our Pacific Coast Wealth Management update of the race to Tokyo. And now, back to the show.
Yeah, that's the strategy during Olympics, right? Because the format is so different, and you have they don't really plan out like your scheduling and making sure everything works for your preparation, right? Yeah. It's like a shit show, and you got to kind of figure it out.
Yeah,
the vibe I get.
I mean, yeah, but you play every other day, so you have plenty of time to figure it out.
Oh, right.
It's like everything is so slow, like hour to the site.
Yeah.
And then like you have like this an hour slot to play, and then you got to wait around for the bus.
You probably got to go through like security everywhere you go to.
Security, yeah.
Full like metal detectors.
Yeah. The best one was London, though. You could go in and out, jump on the train, get to wherever you need to go.
Was that like fully safe, and they recommended like you guys just being with the public?
They didn't want us, but
right.
I mean,
whatever. It's not like Phil sticks out or anything.
It was the easiest way to go.
Right. That makes sense. And then now you ended up with these guys.
Yeah.
Phil, you got to get out of here.
Yeah, I got to go.
I know you got to go get a massage.
Yep.
We might sub Trevor in. We'll see.
Well, the quality of the show is just gonna.
Oh, it's gonna skyrocket.
Out of left field, here
Thanks
comes
for having me
Trevor
on.
Crabb. Oh, great.
Time to bring the moneymaker. Always told me that I have a good face for radio.
Yeah, you do. You have a great radio face.
Video race.
So, how does it feel like knowing that you're going for another Olympics and with like a defending champion, and like, you know, this is like they're obviously a top seeded team on tour, and what's it like kind of coaching a team like that, you know, where they've been doing it for so long as you have.
Yeah.
It's more like, it seems maybe like where it's all just a bunch of good minds coming together. It's not like a coach really like implementing everything he knows. I don't know. How's it?
I mean, the way, and this is kind of how Seuss was with us, and the way I always I've done it with all the teams I've worked with, is that when I come in, it's not like I'm telling you what to do. It's more, okay, let's put our 3 minds together. We check out ideas. Let's communicate what we think is going to be the best.
Yeah.
And you work it out from there. Because I don't think it really works if I come in and just tell them what to do.
Start yelling at Phil and Nick.
Yeah. I mean, they have a ton of experience. They know what's going on. And I always feel that's the best way to do it. And that's how you're going to get ideas kind of sparking. Like, I always think when you tell someone what to do, like in their mind, it's hard for them to like really do it because they don't truly believe it. But if you talk it out with them and like hear their ideas, hear their thoughts, and you break it down, then it almost becomes their idea and their thought, and then they truly believe in it, and then they go 100% at it, you know?
Right.
Which I think, in my experience, always works out better.
Yeah. I like it. Well, you're learning your coaching, you know, tips and all that small stuff that good coaches start to learn. If you guys hear something in the background, it's
Uncle Larry.
There we go. Uncle Larry's dribbling the basketball now.
Getting shots in.
We're up above the basketball gym, so sorry if you hear that. So you're out here in Florida living with Phil and Nick. You basically moved out here because they decided to move out here, right? Like move home, or were you kind of interested in Florida anyway?
It was a combination of things. So obviously them moving out here, and then Brooke from FSU,
right?
Kind of
Nick's wife.
Yeah, Nick's wife. She kind of like obviously knew the situation, and so she reached out whether I'd be interested in helping out with them. So it's kind of like a double thing. Yeah. So I was lucky enough that they hired me as a consultant, so I get to kind of work with her and help her and the other coaches there.
You're helping Brooke on multiple ends because her husband's Nick Lucena, who you're coaching. So you're going out and helping him make some money for the family on the world tour, and then helping her make some money in college, taking care of the Lucena family.
It makes it good. She doesn't get too angry at me when I'm like, I've got to go away with the guys for a tournament. She's like, yeah, go.
She's like, yeah,
go
you
help
do.
them.
Get out of here.
Yeah. So no, it works really well.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I've been pretty lucky. So going out there and then kind of slipped in as helping out with the club and running some events out here in Florida.
And it's big out here. I'm hearing it's growing a lot out here in Florida.
Yeah, I just feel like in California it's kind of flooded. It almost feels like there's so many clubs, there's so many coaches doing things. Like kind of hard to find your spot there. Kind of thing.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, the facilities must be nice to be able to kind of. Are you taking classes as well?
I am.
Because you have to get like a degree or something.
So obviously I started pretty young on the world tour, and it wasn't really that much online. And
you went straight to the pros.
Yeah, straight at it. So I didn't finish my bachelor's degree. So now I'm back at it on online schooling and trying to get that finished.
Nice. Yeah. Well, our coach Jose Loyal is still doing the same thing, and he left Brazil at I think 18 and. Now at what? I don't know how old Jose is. 40 maybe?
No, he's like 47.
47. He's getting his degree. So you're ahead of him there. What do you guys think about this whole complex? My mind has been kind of blown. It's the DS Sports Complex, and Uncle Larry out here has been hosting us. He stopped playing basketball, so you can turn your volume back up, people. But it's pretty incredible, right?
Yeah, this house is basically like just a sports campground, for any type of athlete. The actual DS sports complex is about a 5-minute drive away, and they have about, I think it was like 6 full court basketball courts, 8 indoor volleyball courts, which that can turn into 1 sand court, 2 different gyms, a bar, a cafe. So they got everything there, and his house here is like a mini version of that, which is actually maybe even better since they have a little pitch and putt action going on there.
Yeah, so let's talk about that then, since we're on the topic.
What a great topic for
So we basically have a little mini Olympics going here, since it's just us guys here. Sarah Hughes and Summer Ross are also staying over in the main house because they share coaches with Trevor and I. But yeah, we all just kind of been hanging out and playing different sports and competing. And yesterday we played 9 holes of golf, and Jason came out on top. He's got a really pretty golf swing. Been playing since you were younger, right?
Yeah, I played a couple of years when I was real young, but it wasn't until when I was 22 when I kind of stayed with Jake Gibb a lot, and he kind of got me hooked again, and we played a ton.
Right. I keep hearing about Jake playing a lot of golf. Don't you guys have there's like a whole golf group of volleyball guys,
right? Current player, the best golfer.
Current.
In any country.
In any
not just
country.
the U.S.
I don't really know out of the country. I mean, Andy Maguire, he is playing.
But he's not a player.
He doesn't count.
He's
he doesn't
retired.
play
I think he's made like one main draw in his main life, so that doesn't count.
Then for sure.
Wow, throwing Andy under the bus.
Yeah,
he's a little better than that.
I think for sure Jake
Gibb.
Jake Gibb.
Yeah.
I heard Rosie's pretty good.
Rosie's good. Yeah.
So you saw me golf yesterday. My short game is pretty good, Jay. It might be ugly, but I got it done, right?
You did get it done.
Right?
You finished second.
Try. What do you think about the phrase, if you're not first, you're last?
I think it is what it is. All I know is I looked at my credit card and...
Ooh, what'd you get? $4?
And you Venmoed me $4 for my fresh juice this morning.
I got,
And Jay got 2.
2 juices.
$8. Down $12.
So I had
it doesn't matter how much as long as there's money exchanged.
Yeah.
That's the feeling
It's the
I'm giving
feeling.
me the money.
Yeah.
That's all it needs to be.
And that juice was delicious, by the way. A little turmeric, orange, ginger, beet,
Shout out
and
to-
a fresh agave.
First Watch is the name.
First
of it.
Watch. Yeah, it's a
Restaurant?
nice little health restaurant out here. It's solid. We've all been going there. We've probably gone there
Gone there
like what,
enough
5
for
times.
them to maybe comp us the next meal, maybe, or sponsor us next
Yeah,
time.
you're
we
gonna
come
need
out.
it because you're probably gonna owe more juice by then.
But if anyone needs a tip on how to beat Jake, just don't bet any money, and he doesn't perform. He only performs when there's bets on, so that's the way to win those.
Mr. Consistent. Just give him tons of compliments along the way too.
And just be like, no, we're not betting money, we're just playing for fun.
And then after you beat him, then just fully get on him. That'll really get under his skin.
Does that work for beach volleyball as well as golf?
Well, I don't know how you're going to do that because
see.
there's prize money. So
Right, but adding to the pot, adding a side bet.
you don't want to do that.
Don't add a side bet.
So add a
I
side
might
bet.
have to this
He's
year.
Mr. Consistent. Well,
Add
Trevor
a side
can't
bet.
help
They'll
himself,
fire him up
but
even
Well,
more.
it
he
helps him.
can't help but keep his mouth shut.
And
like,
me and my brother
keep
bet on
heckling.
everything. So
Right.
anything.
How's that going for you?
Well, right now I'm in the hole. I'll be honest, but I have worked my way pretty well out of the hole.
Out of the hole.
Yeah, I'm
So-
on a streak right now. So
So we're not gonna throw any numbers out.
we're not
or
gonna throw any
anything.
numbers out there. But
They stay secret.
The Crab Brothers constantly going at it in the basement of their house.
What do you mostly bet on? Is it on volleyball games or is it on
no,
other stuff?
it's everything else mainly. Not really zero on the volleyball games, which I'd like to, but it's a lot on like ping pong, darts, and then some video games is like the big things.
Sports.
What video game?
NBA 2K. That's actually the only video game that we bet on. Basketball.
Who's your team?
We switch it up. We don't really play with. We play with the old school teams. It's a lot more fun with those teams
yeah.
back in the day than now.
I feel like you need to set it up and video one of these guys playing one of the NBA games.
It gets
Yeah,
it
that would
gets,
be
it
good.
gets
See how it
really
goes.
loud. We have to close all of our
Yeah.
windows in our
Yeah,
spot
I can
before
imagine.
we start.
You get domestic abuse calls.
Yeah.
The cops show up.
I broke a controller a couple weeks ago.
Ooh.
It was already kind of broken.
Oh, yeah.
So I finished it off after I lost the game. Slammed it against the ground and it shattered.
Taylor must have loved that.
Yeah.
He was crying because I think it was his controller.
We also had a free throw contest yesterday.
It
That
wasn't
I
much
took.
of a contest.
Yeah, you're right. It wasn't.
Shouldn't have counted.
Try
then-
took it down.
And then pool later on in the day.
Yeah.
Jason took that one.
Try was too scared to play. Me.
I was too hungry. The dinner was being served. Is what it is. I'll give you another shot at it.
All right.
So a question for you guys. 'Cause
Yeah.
You guys actually plan to come here to prepare for Fort Lauderdale, the 5-star.
Yeah, we were planning
No.
on coming out.
We didn't have this trip planned
We didn't have it booked,
for it.
In a book.
but we were
Yeah.
obviously planning on coming out at this time because this
Yeah.
is when
Right.
the Fort Lauderdale
But
five
we
star.
wouldn't have come out that much earlier than the tournament,
Yeah.
most likely. This was, Jose had this trip planned. After the tournament got canceled, he saw that we had a big break up until Qatar, and he just wanted to switch it up and get us out of California, which I think is a good idea. You get kind of over and over again practicing, the same thing for 2 months straight in California is a little much. It's nice to switch it up, especially when you have the opportunity to play against Phil and Nick, one of the best teams in the world, then that helps a lot. So
Yeah, and it's easier to do like double days out here. We're not going that hard with the double days, but just to do technique stuff, we can like do it under the lights right here, and it's warm out, and the weather's perfect right now.
yeah,
We're pretty stoked on that. Everyone's checking their weather every day, like, yes, it's freezing in Cali. Watching everyone else's Instagrams.
Yeah.
But no, this is a good trip for us too. And like when you're not used to traveling for a while, which I barely traveled the last 2 years, it kind of takes some getting used to. You get in like a rhythm of traveling on the world tour and all that. And I think that's kind of helping us because it's a trip where we don't have anything to focus on but volleyball. And that's similar to when you're traveling for the world tour. Whereas if you're at home, you're in volleyball and then you're right back to like your family or, you know, your off the court stuff and all that. So here we're just able to focus, and obviously we want to play against a good team like you guys. This place is pretty sick. I wouldn't mind coming back, although we were talking earlier about doing a Hawaii training camp, which I know we're probably not going to get you guys out for.
Yeah, that might be a little too far with both of them having families.
Yeah, we can get a California team out there.
Yeah, just throwing it out there, people. If we could get a site like this, like a nice night court, which we do have on the North Shore, that would be perfect.
And we have a gym as well for workouts. My trainer can hook that up.
Yeah. MAR training.
So everything basically is, and we can get housing too, most likely for a team. So everything's pretty much paid for except for just fly out. Same thing we did here. Yeah.
I like it. I'd love to do that, but realistically, it's hard to You're never gonna beat this, like the full sports complex. Them putting you up. We're going to dinner tonight, so I'm assuming that's gonna be pretty nice.
Yeah. Walking 10 feet from your bed to the volleyball court.
Yeah.
To the gym.
It's to the gym.
To the freaking golfing.
Yeah. To the pool. It's
pretty ridiculous.
Sweet.
Yeah. There's a full professional athlete fitness center right below us, and then a full court basketball that can fit 2 volleyball courts. It's pretty ridiculous. I highly recommend checking out the Sportsplex, their main facility, which is even huge, way bigger than where we're staying right now. We went over there today and lifted. It's really nice. What else? What's on the plans for you guys training? Because you guys got 3 more weeks?
Yeah, is it 3 more
4
weeks?
more weeks?
No, 4 more weeks.
We got 4 weeks.
Yeah.
How are you guys going to go about it?
Yeah,
it's a little different because you're not in Cali.
Yeah, well, I mean, we kind of set up a plan. Before this, we've been doing a lot of individual stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So next week we'll be back to individual, and then the following week Phil's going to come to Tallahassee, and then the last 2 weeks, we have Ben and Grant from Canada coming out to Orlando. So we'll train in Orlando 2 weeks before Qatar. So that's kind of the
not bad.
The setup. Yeah,
you guys just doing a little Cali tour or a Florida tour.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, someone's got to drive.
Yeah,
I like that.
But we try to keep it because obviously the guys both have families and that's super important to them. And
right,
you don't want to be. The tour is going to be long enough. You don't want to be gone from your family for too long with the training. And they both have a ton of experience. So
totally
having that time away from each other is not too bad.
It's probably a good thing. Yeah. I think me and Trevor probably hang out way too much. Like a year or 2 from now, it's going to bite us in the butt.
Yeah.
We live on the same street. Oh, Lord. Yeah. And you also just started a family. You got a wife now.
Got a wife.
You just got married, three months ago?
December. Yeah, not even that. 2 months. Not even 2 months, I'd say. A month and a half.
Congrats.
Thank you.
Love it.
Yeah.
And that was out in New Zealand. Looked pretty awesome.
It was, it was awesome. I mean, New Zealand, I love New Zealand.
Mm-hmm.
Go back as much as I can. Same as you guys probably feel about Hawaii.
Did they go to the wedding, Phil and Nick?
No, they were looking at it, but the cost of taking out the whole family and everything.
It's pretty far.
Yeah.
That's far.
But Jake and Jane came. They actually, I know Jake he's always wanted to take his kids out there. So they kind of worked it in. So they went down to the South Island, did a whole lot of stuff there, then came up to the North Island, and then they actually went to Australia afterwards. So they made a really huge family trip out of it. But
That's
they
awesome.
had, you talked to him about it. I think he had an absolute blast there.
Oh, for
had
sure.
a great time.
That's awesome.
Cayman Lane.
They came out?
They were going to. They had their flights booked, but then Lane's pregnant.
Oh,
and
there's the announcement.
No, she's already announced it.
Oh,
I wasn't gonna. I wouldn't have said anything if I knew she had already put it out there.
My other.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah. But yeah, so kind of they came. I think they waited until probably 2 days before the flight, and then finally made a decision hey, I don't think we can come, which was kind of gutting.
Hopefully they got refunds on those flights.
Wait, how pregnant is Lane right now? I haven't seen her. I actually didn't even know that.
I don't know how
Maybe
far
I heard
along,
her.
but yeah.
Dang, so she's out this season. Safe to say.
I'd say so. Yeah, yeah.
And Cam has another at the end of this season, he's officially going to be an American.
Yeah, I think it's like the end of September, so October he can play World Tour for America if he wants.
Yeah, he has a 2-year ban. Is it a ban? It's not really a ban.
I don't think it's a ban, it's a sit down.
Yeah,
2-year sit down.
You have to sit out for 2 years to switch federations.
Ban sounds bad, but
yeah,
he did something wrong.
He didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah.
That would be pretty interesting when Kame comes out. He's a really good player, obviously. You coached him.
Yeah. I mean, he's like one of the bigger defenders out there, you know, like his side-out game is super strong. And